USL League One is presented by Centris. Things are heating up in Omaha as the race to the top of the table gets tighter with every match. Union Omaha enter tonight as the top seed despite a 3-game slide, while AV Alta's 9-game unbeaten run has shown they're serious amongst the top contenders. Union Omaha and AV Alta from Morrison Stadium on ESPN+. Hello, welcome. I'm Ryan Lee. Thank you for joining us. Coming into tonight, Omaha were on top. Charlotte claimed that spot with their win earlier tonight, but pole position is truly up for grabs. Omaha need a point to tie the league lead, and AV Alta are only 2 results off the pace. It could be a spot for Alta to make up ground as they have the second longest unbeaten run actively in League One. Omaha, however, have hit a complete standstill. Not only have the results dried up, but so have the goals, failing to score a goal in the 3-game road trip. Their last goal came against Naples at the end of May, and 285 minutes later, they've been completely stuck in the mud. Despite controlling possession and creating chances, the goals haven't been able to find their way in the back of the net. And if the drought continues for another hour, it'll become the longest scoring drought in franchise history, surpassing the mark set back in their inaugural season in 2020. And they'll need to lean on their leading goal scorer to get out of that in Diego Gutierrez. As our player to watch is presented by RUB and Dolomiti, the 27-year-old has been a regular in Vincenzo Candella's lineup. His value in open play, set pieces, creates opportunities not just for himself, but others around him. And he was involved in both of Omaha's goals in the 2-1 win against Naples at the end of May. And while Omaha have been ice cold, on the other end, AV Alta have been red hot. Their 9-game unbeaten streak is the epitome of Brian Claban's formula. 5 clean sheets, 6 wins, a free-flowing offense that's top 5 in the league, and a connectivity that comes from a common understanding of the system and what's demanded of them. They've become a team that finishes strong, as their last 4 goals have all come within the final 20 minutes of each of their last several matches. And for AV Alta, finding clutch performances in key moments has allowed Alta to turn losses into points and 1 point into 3. As our other player to watch is a familiar face in Omaha, Adam Almesh. The French forward is already having a career year, midway through 2026. He returns to Omaha for the first time since joining AV Alta last year, having scored more goals and set to appear in more matches than at any point in his career. Brian Claban credits his improved mentality and commitment as why he's earned the staff's trust as one of the regulars for AV Alta. It's a full pursuit for pole position. Omaha look to take back what's theirs, while AV Alta want to prove they belong amongst the league's best. Lineups and kickoff are next.
It's an age-old tradition, sneaking a taste before it's ready to serve. But when you see the finest reserve label, you just can't help yourself. Because you know an immersive, unexpected flavor experience awaits. The passion and the creativity are felt and tasted in every bite, twisting contemporary cuisine in satisfying new ways. It makes it almost impossible not to want to taste it before the meal. Finest Reserve. Every flavor tells a story.
To be a part of Nebraska medicine.
Hi, welcome.
Good to see you.
Is to be a part of something extraordinary.
Nebraska Medicine, how may I help you?
Because these are the doors.
How are you?
That open doors.
That went really well.
To growth and opportunity for each other and for our community. For those who know that the academic experience.
You know what? I agree.
The life experience that you get here is beyond what you can get anywhere else.
Doing great.
And that's exactly why here is where you belong. Nebraska Medicine. Together, extraordinary.
Mi nombre es Josué Aaron Gómez y soy del Paso, Texas. Creo que significaría mucho para mí, para mi futuro. Creo que al terminar mi carrera futbolística, creo que poder implementar lo que voy a aprender en la escuela, creo que eso va a ser muy importante para mí y para mi futuro.
The USL League One on ESPN Plus is presented by Nebraska Medicine. It's a race to the top of the table as Omaha look to reclaim the #1 seed. AV Alta only a couple of points behind as they look to show they are serious amongst the elite in USL League One. We begin with Union Omaha. They made 3 changes since their 1-0 loss against AC Boise. New who's back in goal for back-to-back matches for the first time since mid-May, both in regular season and Prince Tires USL Cup play. Lawrence is in, as well as Caceres, Gutierrez, and Patello Faz are the tandem up top for Vincenzo Candela. As for Brian Claiborne, 2 changes made since the last match against Corpus Christi in the 0-0 draw. Back-to-back clean sheets in the last 2 starts for Denzel Smith. He also and the back 4 are remaining unchanged. As Oswaldo Lay goes into the midfield as Elias Almesh is the second change. He starts for the second time across all competitions alongside his brother Adam. As we make our way to the center of Morrison Stadium, where the vibes are high, as is everything on the line between Union Omaha and AV Alta. The chase to the top of the table continues at Morrison Stadium, where Union Omaha had the first seed ripped away from them earlier this afternoon after Charlotte took their win against Corpus Christi. AV Alta look to stay on pace as they only sit 4 behind Omaha going into the afternoon. Ryan Lee and our entire ESPN Plus crew, we thank you for joining us here in Omaha, Nebraska, where AV Alta, they'll be in the beige, going from right to left. Union Omaha, all black, left to right, in one of the highly anticipated matches of the match week in this midweek slate. So many games across the board already. 4 games, 8 teams of the 17 taking place on this Wednesday evening, and probably none more highly anticipated than this one against 2 of the top contenders. Turned over, Tequila inside the box, poked away by Seha, but this will draw the first corner of the match. And this is one of the reasons why these 2 are as tight as they are. Aggressiveness on both ends of the pitch, offensively and defensively, as Omaha have been swarming the defensive end of AV Alta. You saw the takedown of Cabral on Osvaldo Lay, and a little bit of hustling back from Eric Seha to prevent Kempis Tequila from going any further. It will be Cabral on the opening corner. Minute and a half in from Modelo, headed away by Alta. Lawrence backpedals and Omaha will reset. Coming off of a really negative 3-game road stretch where not only they had 3 losses, they also failed to score a goal within those, where they are an hour away from potentially setting a franchise record in the longest scoring drought in team history. But Gutierrez on the outside, served in, headed out by Lay, captained by Cabral, taken down from behind, and Des Dune will give Omaha a free kick. This is an AV Alta side. They don't take a lot of fouls, as they have been one of the heaviest possession teams in all of USL League One. But against the #1 team on the table going into the evening, they might have to fight a little extra harder, and they might have to deal with the additional circumstances. That is the whistle of Matthew Corrigan, our head official. This will set up shop. Kempis Tequila stands alongside. But it will be Edri Caceres over the ball by himself. It's Caceres. Caceres to goal, but easily to Denzel Smith. Alta. At it dislodged. Sam Owusu stepping up from the 3 center back look that Vincenzo Candela presents for this match, and already back in business for AV Alta. Cesar Bahena disrupted, and this time it's Alta with the free kick. You have at least one going in each direction in this opening 4 minutes. Sam Owusu stepped up earlier in the play. And that time, a bit of a scramble back as Cesar Bahena, one of the young hotshot rookies of this AV Alta lineup, already having made his presence felt. Bit of a heater as of late with goals in 2 of the last 4, and he will give Alta their first dangerous opportunity of the match. 4 minutes in. Jerry Desdune sends it across, too high for Villalobos. Bit of contact inside of the box. That appears to be Adam Almesh getting back up. The ex-Owl of Omaha. He spent his first professional season here in 2024 after he finished his 2-year campaign with Marshall. He was also a member of an all-Sun Belt team going to Omaha, and a year later he would be a part of the inaugural AV Alta squad in 2025. Our keys to the game are brought to you by Hydra Patch. For AV Alta, the key is not about their shots. They have been able to get those. The shots on target have been the key. The proportion has been really low throughout this entire slide, so finding it within frame will possibly, just by sheer probability, help the offense finally get to the back of the net. And for AV Alta, one of the best possession teams in all of USL League One. They play a team that very much matches that style. Union Omaha, probably the only other team other than AV Alta that have that possession style in their arsenal and can use it to their advantage. They have to play on their terms and not on the Owls' terms. But that most certainly could be difficult, as it's a similarity of styles. Jimmy Villalobos gets involved, centering for Desdune. Settles too far for Bahena, and it's already back for Omaha. Along the near side, full steam ahead. Kamar Lawrence. Cameron Lawrence with space. Outside, Ors Navarro can't get by Denzel Smith. Cameron Lawrence starting things off from the back and trying to get Ors Navarro into the play. He's had a real down year so far, only 2 goals in the first 10 matches after a double-digit goal campaign a year ago, all in regular season play. That's been one of the overall struggles for Union Omaha, especially a team that has been built on quantity, just hammering you in by just the sheer volume of attempts and opportunities your way. And they'll actually call this one back, that it was a throw-in near the center of the park. Currently occupied by Brian Claben. Today is the 45th match that he is on the sideline across the 2 seasons. All sorts of experience internationally and domestically as an academy coach with LAFC previously, and even some of the youth programs with teams like Chivas and LA Galaxy. One of the reasons why he went with his youth-first approach across the 2 years. It was also one of those situations where right around this time last year, in the first or second week of July, in their inaugural season, they were amongst the top 2 in the league, but had a straight-up tailspin to end the season. One of the lengthiest winless droughts to end 2025, all culminating in AV Alta being 1 point outside the playoffs. Omaha look to get in gear. Gutierrez, edge of the box. All sorts of harassment from Pelivanov, nicely done, but back it comes again. Got Caceres and Budati all within the region. Kempis Tequila up the middle. Ors Navarro. 8 minutes in the match. Couple of chances, both of them for Omaha. 2 attempts, both on frame. Slid down, Budati wins another Omaha corner. Some of the early discomfort from Diego Gutierrez. That's not what you want to see from your team leader in goals, the Omaha native. All corners brought to you by Modelo. The X1 Knoxman Kempis Tequila on the service. Swung out. Botello Faz couldn't get out of his entanglement with Almesh, and he's all by himself. Plenty of room. Slithers. Left to right for his brother Elias. Nicely dislodged by Caceres. Telefaz leads the charge. You have to wonder, with the scoring drought that Omaha have been dealing with, have there been potentially a dip in confidence on the offensive end? But especially with the way that Vincenzo Candela's had this team ready to go since he took over the reins midway through last season. You know this team will be aggressive no matter what they do. Served back in, no one in black to receive. It's cut down by Alfredo Ortiz. 6-2-6 to start the initial 14 matches for AV Alta. Good enough for the 4th place slot going into the evening. Also been a just above 500 team on the road. 2 wins, 2 draws, and 1 loss. That loss came back in February in Spokane. They've been perfect on the road ever since to at least get points. Union Omaha pushing it deep. Ors Navarro. Seha all over. Budati. Away from Seha. Still bouncing, cut down, and that is a handball against Union Omaha. Inadvertently, you saw a little bit of the bicep of Ors Navarro. Really hard to understand what to potentially expect with AV Alta in that first 2 months of the season, considering they didn't have the greatest of runs in the Open Cup. They were unable to get a win across their first half a dozen matches. And then that first win came against forward Madison in the beginning of May. Not just a win, a shutout win against the Mingos, and things snowballed for Alta from there. If you include that 2-2 draw against AC Boise midway through April, 6 wins, 3 losses to tie their franchise record at 9 unbeaten. Osvaldo Lay, one of the new entries into this lineup for this evening. Deep try, aiming for Almesh. And Coleman will watch it bounce out. The vibes are most certainly high here at Morrison Stadium, considering that they actually pushed the start time back a couple hours to accommodate the Team USA game in their respective 2-0 win versus Bosnia and Herzegovina. And good news for all the fans, it's still free admission just to stick around and watch the local Owls do their thing and potentially have their chance to reclaim the top of the table that was stripped away from them by the Charlotte Independents earlier in their win against Corpus Christi. Only 1 point separate Charlotte and Omaha as we stand. Diego Gutierrez, the turnover. Cuts inside, Ors Navarro. And great congestion from AV Alta. The follow-up from Alfredo Ortiz draws a whistle. Enter the Prinks Tires USL Cup Game Day Kit Sweepstakes for your chance to earn a prize pack worth up to $2,000. Scan the QR code on the screen and enter today. One more round in the USL Cup 10 days from now, Omaha goes to Madison to finish out their USL Cup campaign. Maybe Alta have one more match from then until now, which will be Sunday against Charlotte Independence. And who knows, if the results pan out the way that Alta prefer them to be today, that could be a chase for the #1 overall seed. Ors Navarro, near end. Waits for help. Gets it, turns, Gutierrez the try, blocked. Budati lunged in, Cabral the assistance. Back for Cabral. Owusu steps up from the back spot. And miscommunication between Cameron Lawrence as Vincenzo Candela continues to direct traffic. 19 matches to begin the 2025 campaign on its interim stint. Stolen away, Kempis Tequila at the edge of the box will give Union Omaha a free kick. They want to argue that's potentially a penalty of the location of the foul, but they will not win that one. You have a dangerous defender like, a dangerous attacker like Kempis Tequila and defensive midfielder Osvaldo Ley just trying to play any sort of prevent against a guy like Kempis Tequila, who can show how dangerous he is every chance he gets. A key cog in Knoxville's double last year. We have Cabral and Tequila. Short touch, Tequila goes over. A valiant effort from the German forward, but nothing to show for it. This is the second of two meetings between AV Alta and Union Omaha. The first one was back on April the 4th, back at the hangar, where it was the Owls who took the full three. By the end of that one, it was a 3-1 final. And that was a game where Union Omaha just absolutely hammered Alta in their home. We had a 2-0 lead in the first 20 minutes, and Omaha just held on after that. But Kempis Tequila looks to answer. Dancing through, leaves it behind, overcooked by Edri Caceres. The Omaha faithful, many of whom stuck around after the watch party that was held here at Morrison Stadium for the USA game. Jerry Jesdoun ahead of the pack for Alta. Centers, Adam Almesh. He's got his brother Elias. It's only the second start for Elias. Both of them, he actually had some sort of involvement with his brother Adam, as they were both starting in the first round of the Prince Tires USL Cup against the USL Championship side New Mexico United. This is the second time across all competitions that Elias Almesh is starting. Yet to find a goal contribution in regular season play after having 3 total in cup competition. Watch the USL on ESPN2 July 11th for a Pringstars USL Cup Interleague matchup. Championship club San Antonio FC aims to clinch Group 3 with a win over League One opponent, the Chattanooga Red Wolves. Determined to spoil the party, July 11th, 9 Eastern on ESPN2. Turnover at the edge of the box. Alta control. Desdune walks away from the jumble. Looks to lead it. Blocked before it reached Ortiz. Back to Desdune. Bahena. Bahena loads up and well over. Cesar Bahena at the top of the area. Attempted to work on Cameron Lawrence. Just was unable to get that one to dip underneath. It's a very young, confident squad, our AV Alta, especially because Brian Claiborne has not been shy to let them feel it, let them have it. Doesn't matter how much age or experience you have, it's all about what you actually do when you have your opportunity to play or to start. It's not about the experience, but just how good you have been. And Jerry Desdune most certainly has been that as one of the top chance creators in the league. Across for Villalobos, the captain, continues outside for Elias Almesh. Slid away from Budati. Gutierrez recovers. Tequila at the center circle. Still nothing just past 20 minutes. 5 total shots. Only one of them are AV Altas, but none of theirs have been on frame since about the opening 10 minutes, where there were 2 Omaha chances on net. Omaha aiming to penetrate, but you can just see how many bodies in that off-white are inside of the penalty area. This can cause all sorts of trouble for Union Omaha. As it's served across, clipped down, contact in the area. No whistle given. Christian Ortiz escapes from the pack. Villalobos gave it right back. Ors Navarro slithering through, still controlling. Caceres. Tequila. Dislodged by Ceja. A nice collective defensive work from AV Alta. Back in front and just missed. It took a nick on the way, so it'll be an Omaha corner, but this has been some of what Omaha tried to do. They press up against you, they get aggressive, they force you to make decisions quick and force you into your own mistakes. Enough for an Omaha corner by Modelo, their third. Curling, headed, out, goal kick. One thing that also kind of gets lost in the sauce a little bit with this match is Omaha do have a streak of their own that they are trying to maintain as well. They're 18 consecutive unbeaten in regular season home matches. They are 3 away from the League One record set by one Knoxville. They have 6 wins and 1 draw in their 7 matches here at Morrison are the Owls. Meanwhile, for AV Alta, 1 away from club history if they can be unbeaten in their 10th. Streak at 9 is tied. Adam Almesh cuts in, lets it fly, blocked from Cabral. Tequila, bodied off by Alfredo Ortiz. Ortiz, away from Coleman. Elias Almesh, Desdune, not there. Ors Navarro, needs to escape. Seha disrupts the lane for Tequila. Still AV Alta. Number 1 in League One, hosting number 4 in League One, going into the evening. Only 4 points separate these two in the League One standings. But the table is congested from 1 to 8. Coleman does a great job winning that one back. Christian Ortiz steps in. Maybe Alta take it back. Only 8 points separated number 1 and number 8 on the table entering today. Almesh leads the way. Almesh on the outside, took a ricochet, doesn't get to Nuhu before it's cleared out by Omaha. And whistle down by our head official in the red, Matthew Corrigan. Jay Norris, Braxton Williams, and Jacob Larson round out the crew, but this is the first probably big chance of the evening for AV Alta. Just working on the outside was Adam Almesh. Hard to tell if he was looking for an attacker or maybe a deflection off a defender, but either way, it doesn't make its way to Rashid Nuhu, and the collective defense of Omaha are successfully able to clear. Where after this last string of matches where they've allowed 5 goals and scored none, they've dipped down to a defense in the middle of the pack after dominating that category in the early 3 or so months of the season. And Sam Owusu splits the difference between Gutierrez and Batella Faz. Elias Almesh snakes through the D before it's dislodged. Support comes from Bahena. Adam Almesh. Adam Almesh dancing through. Desdune fires, and it's held off by Nuhu. The one they call Shido, the captain, with his first save of the game. Already a several-time USL League One record holder, including his mark for the most clean sheets across all USL League One. Continues to be the captain even through his 7th season with Union Omaha, dating back to 2020. As he has been a mainstay between the pipes for Union Omaha since he came 7 years ago, but things have been a little more up in the air as of late, splitting more of those reps with Cole Jensen, especially when he came across from MLS Next Pro between 2024 and 25. That somewhat open competition between Jensen and Nuhu. And at stretches, even this year, it's been hard to tell who really has the advantage in that. When you have two guys capable of being number ones, it's more than understandable. Elias Almish gains it back. And perhaps trying to dance through a triple team all by himself, showing some of the lack of experience for the young 20-year-old. Half an hour in, Union Omaha, 3 consecutive losses, all via shutout. For AV Alta, 9 consecutive unbeaten, tying a franchise record. Christian Ortiz up the gut, Desdoon cuts back. Desdoon turns from pressure. Adam Almish unloads and scores! Adam Almish against his former team. AV Alta, half an hour in, they've got the lead. He won the double with Omaha back in 2020. Now this is his first game back in Nebraska since. One touch, bottom corner off the feet from Jerry Desdoon. And when you have one of the top chance creators in the league, the threat to shoot is always there, but instead lays it off to Almish, who has continued to have his stock rise with every single game. Already a career high, 5 goals into the season, extending that with his 6th in the 31st. Do Omaha have a counter punch as that attempted feed goes out for another corner? Only 4 corners in this match, all have been Omaha's. Another Modelo corner for Kempis Tequila on the far end. In the mix, Owusu heads it over. That last goal by Adam Almish also snaps a bit of a run that they had. The last 4 goals they scored going into today were all after the 70th minute, including game winners right around the 80th minute against both Greenville and Spokane. 79th minute to beat Spokane 1-0, and then 87th minute to beat Greenville 2-1. For a team that has actually now tied Union Omaha in the top 4 at goals scored. Bit of a struggle bus early on, but they found some form recently. Elias Almish back for Desdoon. AV Alta, after the Charlotte result, 5 points from first. Good block by Coleman to prevent Elias Almish from progressing further. Cabral gets dropped, back on his feet. Coleman lifts it away from pressure. Stripped. Almish. Try from deep is going to be an easy one to Nuhu. 10 minutes remain in the opening half. 1-0 for AV Alta. Gutierrez drives the box. Christian Ortiz gets it free. Pilovanov allows it to leave the area as Alta will cycle. What an impressive in-season turnaround it's been for AV Alta, not just the 5 winless to start the season. They only scored 5 goals within those opening 5 matches, and they just couldn't find a way to get out of their own way. But small adjustments, especially the commitment on the defense, as AV Alta are offside. Just finding those little tweaks that can make them better every single chance they get, especially for such a young team. By far the youngest team in terms of average age of the players. And also they've been able to do a lot of that by just keeping the ball away from their opponents. That possession-based style that Brian Clavin touts so much. The possession has been a large part of Omaha's game also within the main possession categories. These two are 1 and 2 respectively. They are either 1 and 2 in possession percentage, the number of passes, and the pass percentage as well, signifying the amount that everyone gets a touch of the ball all around the field on both ends between AV Alta and Union Omaha. However, sometimes it just takes that stroke of individual brilliance to become the difference maker in a match. And that was Adam Almesh back in the 31st, the assist from Jerry Desdoon. Also a side note on Desdoon also, as he got an assist on that Almesh goal that puts him at 8 goal contributions in the last 9 matches. He actually started off the season scoring all four of his goals in the early portion of the season. And lately it's actually been all the assists that have come. 5 assists now in the last 5 matches for Desdoon. Omaha look to pounce. Yunus Budati. Slants it for Lawrence. Caceres outside for Budati. Budati forces his way in. Roadblocked by Ortiz and Desdoon. Gutierrez, top of the area, he fires and just high again. Kind of similar to what we mentioned before, it's the shots on target that have been the Achilles heel of Union Omaha. It's not about getting the quantity of shots, but getting them within the realm of the frame. And just by sheer law of averages, if you don't get it within frame, you're less likely to get goals. And a lot of that has just been maybe some lack of confidence of bringing it inside of the box. They're one of the teams that have fired it from distance, almost at will at times. And the 1-0 loss they had last time out against AC Boise, they had 1 shot on target on 8 attempts. Against Sarasota, the game before that, a little more effective, 5 on target on 17 attempts. And then you revert down to 16 attempts, 4 on target against Charlotte Independence. So the efficiency of getting it inside the realm of the frame is not there. and has most certainly hurt Omaha, especially the offensive ends. Right around the first week of June, they were the #1 offense and have sunken down ever since. Tequila. Back for Caceres. 5 minutes remain in the opening half. Omaha looked to respond to Alta's first goal, leading the way. Too far for Batella Foz and cleared by Almesh. Dottie cuts back, lifts it, no one in black in the area. All things considered, it's also quite a steamy day here in the heart of Nebraska. 83 degrees at the time of kickoff. It'll dip pretty steadily as the game continues onward. Gutierrez has space, closing down. Assistance from Budati. Budati taken down to the area, and it'll be not a penalty, it will be a corner though. Regardless, it is Omaha's ball. Everyone wanted the PK as Christian Ortiz. You can most certainly make the argument the tangling of legs between Ortiz and Budati. And Budati does have that frame advantage as well. 6-0 versus the 5'9" Christian Ortiz. But it's Kempis Tequila for the 5th time for a Modelo corner. Compared to Alta's 0 corner kicks. Still loose, it's down. Owusu swings it back to Tequila. Squirts by. Can't get by the blockade, and it's out from Alta. Gutierrez. Brett Coleman. Lawrence in the middle. Circle back towards Coleman. Caceres wants to arch it. Wasn't available. Owusu keeps it in the attacking third. Caceres. Batella Foz turns, blocked out. Ceja forces another corner. Nicely read by Eric Ceja in the middle of that back four for Aviolta. The 24-year-old center back able to get it through, but it is a 6th corner for Modelo and for Omaha. This time it's Gabriel Cabral on the near end. Headed down, still loose, cleared by Alta. It'll stay with Omaha on the throw as we await the stoppage time number from the fourth official. Tempest Tequila. You can just see all the congestion that AV Alta is providing, especially in that 18-yard line. Kidadi, Owusu gets it back. Sam Owusu just misses. But another corner to Omaha. That's at least one spot where the Owls have been able to keep generating offense. No matter what they do, they are at least getting their chances in. It looks like it might have been Pelovanov who got a toe to it. 7 times in the first half. At the corner for Modelo. Punched out by the AV Alta defense. Another chip. Owusu, well wide. Omaha were in the driver's seat all season long at number 1 after failing to do so at any point in 2025. AV Alta have them on the ropes in the first half of play, where the visitors lead 1-0. The Frenchman, Adam Amish, the one to get the first goal of the match. 31st minute, the helper from Jerry Desdune. And we mentioned it in the opening, you're gonna need your big dogs to help you, especially in a tight match like this, where number 1 is a possibility for both of these teams. And maybe a little bit of pushiness as the Almace brothers are getting into it at the edge of the area before they're sequentially separated. That's where we stand through 45 minutes of play. The race for pole position is in full swing. Although Omaha have been taking jabs, the first major blow came from AV Alta and the former Owl, Adam Almash. Halftime in Omaha when we come back. We return to Morrison Stadium in Omaha, Nebraska. Right before this game began, there was a watch party for the World Cup for Team USA. And one of the best stories of this 2026 FIFA World Cup actually came from a member of the USL. As we take a look at the Curacao keeper, the 15-save man, Eloy Rube. He is the USL Championship player that took the World Cup by storm. Miami FC goalkeeper Eloy Rube made history with his 15-save performance in Curaçao's scoreless draw with heavily favored Ecuador. A World Cup record in a 90-minute match. The reaction went viral. A worldwide cheer for a team's success despite the odds. But there are two coaches in South Florida that saw it coming.
I'm surprised because I know what is the level in the World Cup, but also I know Eloy, I see every day, so I know the level.
Christian Blanco is Miami FC's goalkeeper coach. His specialty is developing younger players, but Rube is different. He is a 37-year-old veteran who played nearly 200 matches in the top Dutch league. A wealth of knowledge, even for a coach. Where does Eloy stand in all of the players you've worked with in your career, and how neat is this to be a part of this?
It's my first experience with the World Cup, man, you know. And for me, I'm so happy for that. It's a big challenge for me in the beginning, to right now. So I try to enjoy every training, every single moment, because and I try to teach something to Eloy, but he teach me a lot too.
He is capable of directing everybody from behind, and not only on the field, also off the field.
Rube is one of the shutout leaders in the USL Championship with 4. He is a big reason Miami is in the playoff conversation at the midway point of the season. A World Cup interruption is an honor. For now.
We are super happy for his performances in the World Cup, but we are super happy as well to have him back as soon as possible.
Alright,
Let's go.
now we gotta show them what we're made of, right?
Yeah.
When Aiden first came to us, he told our team he wanted to ride in a Ferrari. So we made it happen with professional race car driver Thomas Nordquist.
Is that super fast or what?
Yeah.
At X-Cancer, we believe that more understanding leads to more options, and more options lead to more hope.
Pain doesn't care who you are or why you hurt, but pain can be mastered if you know the way. Fight back with Tiger Balm's legendary herbal power. Trusted for over 100 years, our proven blend of camphor, menthol, and essential oils tames pain with the strength and speed of the tiger, so that you can rise above pain and get back to living. This is the way of the tiger.
¡Espectacular! ¡Hay mucha fiesta, señor Martino! ¡Hay gente revancha, doctor! ¡Pero falta gol! ¡Estamos a esperar a Hugo! ¿Hugo Sánchez? Sí, tira para adelante. ¿Quién maneja? ¿Un futbolista? ¡Súbete, Luis! ¡Llegamos por fin! ¡Ay, bendito sea el chapar, doctor! Hugo, ¿regreso a las canchas? ¿Algún consejo?
Sí, confía y cree en ti.
¡Ey! ¡Pasa al norte! A donde me dé la oportunidad, pero listo para dar el paso. ¡Listo, vamos!
This is your moment. We all have goals.
But let's be honest, most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Back here in Omaha, where the Owls are down 1 to the visitors, AV Alta, both of whom are within 5 points of the #1 overall seed. This is the final game of the Wednesday slate in USL League One. We take a look back at actually how the other 3 games ended up panning out. As we mentioned before, Charlotte Independence got their 2-1 win against Corpus Christi to actually claim the top of the table on Union Omaha. They actually now have a 1-point lead on the Owls. Corpus Christi's 4-game unbeaten run eventually had to go stale eventually. And how about the run for the Chattanooga Red Wolves? They put themselves within a game of the playoff line after a dismal start to the season, but that's what happens when you have so many games in hand for the Red Wolves. Also, one more game going on, but that's on CBSSN if you have that available. But if you're on the ESPN side of things, here is the slate, including tomorrow's ESPN 2 game between AC Boise and One Knoxville, one of the hot shot newcomers and the reigning champs. Us and our crew will actually be in Corpus Christi on Saturday, where we'll get to see that same Red Wolves team potentially get above the playoff line against the Corpus Christi side, who want to get back into the picture, as they are only 6 points behind number 8 and 4 points behind Chattanooga, as we take a look at the remainder of the slates going into the weekend. Although we are in the halftime break, that doesn't mean there's more coming on the horizon. Second half kick on the way in Omaha after this.
It is halftime in League One. Time to get you caught up on the headlines this week. I'm Dan Lucas inside the USL studio. Charlotte Independence set up an amazing group stage finale in the Prinks Tires USL Cup with its 1-0 win over Greenville Triumph. Charlotte is tied with Charleston Battery atop the Group 6 standings with a head-to-head matchup against the Battery in round 4. 3 more League One clubs with a shot to advance to the quarterfinals are Spokane Velocity, AC Boise, and Union Omaha. AV Alta drew 0-0 with Corpus Christi last week, extending its unbeaten run in League One to 9 matches heading into this week. During that stretch, AV Alta has allowed just 4 goals with 5 shutouts. Now, in that game against AV Alta, Corpus Christi head coach Ayman Zayed worked his 101st League One match. Zayed has won 44% of those matches, giving him the best winning percentage of all coaches to reach 100 matches in League One. Upcoming national spotlight games in League One and the championship. Saturday the 11th, USL Cup finale between San Antonio and Chattanooga on ESPN2. Then a pair of matches on CBS Sports Network, Sporting Jackson Pittsburgh on the 15th, followed by AC Boise and Portland on the 17th. Then the big one on CBS Saturday the 18th, Pittsburgh hosting Louisville City. This is the USL Halftime Update. Let's get you back out to your match.
To be a part of Nebraska medicine.
Hi, welcome.
Good to see you.
Is to be a part of something extraordinary.
Nebraska Medicine, how may I help you?
Because these are the doors
How are you?
that open doors.
That went really well.
To growth
Hey.
and opportunity for each other and for our community. For those who know that the academic experience,
You know what? I agree.
the life experience that you get here is beyond what you can get anywhere else.
Doing great.
And that's exactly why here is where you belong. Nebraska medicine. Together, extraordinary.
there to listen to their goals, their dreams, and whatever is preventing them from reaching those. I can be in my house and I can help multiple people.
Fidelity emphasizes the importance of connectivity. The culture is really thriving, especially if you're in a remote role.
I don't feel alone, and I'm just in my house, so it's the best of both worlds, definitely.
One 0 AV Alta over Union Omaha through the first set of 45. Plenty of action throughout this match in Morrison Stadium as we look back at the first set of 45 between the Owls and AV Alta. Even though the possession has most certainly been there for both teams, it hasn't been without some of the pressure and some of the high press, as you had Gabriel Cabral allowing Tequila to get pretty much a close to wide open chance. But Adam Almage would drop it off. Desdoon would strike it from just inside of the area, going to his bottom left corner. Rashid Nuhu able to get the slide on that one before the 31st minute eventually broke. It all started with Jerry Desdoon driving the box, looking for a way to escape the pressure of Brent Coleman and Adam Almage at the top of the box. In his return to Omaha since joining AV Alta last year, strikes first for Alta in the 31st minute. And that is where we stand through 45 minutes of play. We make our way back here to Morrison Stadium in Omaha, Nebraska. Union Omaha going into the evening were number 1 in the League One standings. However, that seed has been usurped by the Charlotte Independents after they beat Corpus Christi earlier this evening. And after Omaha would drop down to second, and they would have to take back what is theirs after the Jacks inevitably took the spot from the Owls, as they were pretty much cat and mouse for the last month or so for that number 1 overall seed. And don't forget, you have one Knoxville waiting in the wings as well. They play Boise in Boise on that ESPN2 game, where before we get to the Friday slate, we might even see one Knoxville in that number 1 slot perhaps. And AV Alta are not that far behind. If the results were to stand right now, it'd be AV Alta and one Knoxville tied in 3rd place with 27 points apiece, but Knoxville would be the 3 seed. AV Alta would be the number 4 due to points percentage, as Knoxville had those couple games in hand. Some fresh bodies on both sides of the aisle. You see Godwin Antwi over at center. You saw Lawrence Wooton and Aaron Gomez joining the fray. We will get the full set of changes to you momentarily. But we're back for the second half between Omaha and AV Alta. Alta will be in the beige. They go left to right. Union Omaha all black, right to left. They will go. Ryan Lee and our entire ESPN Plus crew, we thank you for joining us here at Morrison Stadium in the heart of Nebraska. Turned over, Batella Foz attempts to pivot, and he draws contact enough for a whistle. You have one of those inaugural AV Alta players, Kaloyan Pelovanov, getting in the face of Batella Foz to draw the contact. And this will allow allow Omaha to take the free kick. Cabral stands alongside with Caceres. Gabe Cabral to goal, well high. So changes were made on both ends of the aisle right at the halftime break. Brian Clavin used one of them. Vincenzo Candela got two guys out there. For AV Alta, it is Elias Almesh. His first start in regular season play, only goes for a half for the rookie from San Diego, Godwin Antwi. We saw at the end of the first half, Diego Gutierrez limping a little bit towards the end of the first half, possibly why he has been replaced by Aaron Gomez, one of the veterans on this team, at least in terms of their involvement with the side. He's been there since 2024, pardon, for his third season. Then Lawrence Wooton, first full season with Omaha after joining in April of last season. For Wooton, this is the 40th match he's played with the Owls. So how will these new changes play its part? Especially now that for Union Omaha, your top two goal scorers are no longer on the field. They're now taking the spot on the bench. But when you're a little over 15 minutes away from the franchise longest goal drought, you'll take any chance you can get. It's Adam Almesh at the top, dislodged. And a chance to streak through for Gabriel Cabral. Nice slide by Pelavanov before it reached Botello Foz. Antwi at center with Lay. Alta will cycle using their heavy possession. Wasn't any major edges in that department. It's about 51-49 in the first half, about what you'd expect. But Union Omaha were just peppering the goal, but without really causing any sort of trouble towards Denzel Smith. 16 attempts, only 3 of them were on target. AV Alta didn't quite have the attempts, but they made them efficient. 4 on target on 6 attempts. Deep ball, Ortiz, headed out by Nuhu, still loose just outside the area. Wooton comes back. And the back pass comes towards Rashid Nuhu again. All sorts of scrambling around in Omaha's defensive end after Omaha created the same type of pressure on AV Alta early on in the first half. Antwi forced it away from Wooton, and it's back for Alta again. AV Alta, 5 wins, 1 draw in the 7 games that they scored the opening goal. Last time they did so was against Spokane Velocity, where they scored the opening goal and held on, but that was way out in the 79th minute. However, for Union Omaha, the last time they were at home, it was that May 30th match against FC Naples, where not only did they eventually get the win 2-1, but they did so with a 1-0 deficit at halftime. One of only 2 wins in the 8 matches that they conceded first. Villalobos given right to Botello Foz, top of the area and punched out by Smith. First quarter of the second half to Union Omaha as Aaron Gomez gets his first involvement in this match. First one of the second half from Modelo. It's Gabriel Cabral to do the honors. Service. Down low. Desdune walks it out. And it took until 5 minutes of the second half to get the first yellow card of the match. Cameron Lawrence hustling back to disrupt Godwin Antwi. So it's the rookie from Monmouth, Cameron Lawrence, who actually made his League One debut against AV Alta up in Lancaster in that first week of April. All substitutions, by the way, were brought to you by Broadmoor and Heartwood Preserve. 2 for Omaha, 1 for Alta. All right at the halftime break. Pelavanov, the center back, driving the offense as he gives it off to Desdune. Both teams looking for their own sets of history. For AV Alta, if they can get any points today or even hold on to the lead, it would be the first time they've reached a double-digit unbeaten run. 9 last year, currently on 9 as we stand. For Union Omaha, chasing the one Knoxville record of the longest unbeaten regular season run at home. Currently sitting at 18 matches, but that is in the balance as they have the 1-0 deficits. And if they cannot get a goal anytime within the next 7 minutes, it'll be the longest goal drought in franchise history since their debut season in 2020. Into the middle, Ors Navarro forcing his way in. The centering feed gets blocked nicely. Still loose inside the 6. Passed out by Seha. Desdune with room. Almost everything Union Omaha have been doing have at least threatened the net. They just haven't had the bodies or the opportunity. You have to wonder if the drought and the way that they've free-fallen, not just in-game, but throughout this entire season, might be affecting something mentally, whether if it's confidence or composure, maybe rushing things or maybe forcing options that are not there. There's a multitude of reasons why that could be. Also could be a reason why they're looking for some attacking help, having signed the attacking midfielder Marlon Vargas on loan from New Mexico United at the championship. He's not on the roster today, but he did make his way to Omaha officially on Monday. Botello Foz, back heels, Ors Navarro. Gomez got it disrupted, back it comes. Budati to center. Gomez clogged up. Caceres. Outside Ors Navarro. Blocked out by Antwi. And actually it went off Ors Navarro last. We mentioned it in the open how AV Alta, if they want to have some sort of success in this game, they have to dictate it on their own terms. Aside from shooting, they have been able to do some of that just with holding on to the ball, maybe frustrating Omaha at points. And even aggressiveness on the offense as Coleman drags on Almesh. They're still tangled up. A yellow card is already coming. As help comes, and now we've got a fracas. This happened just after halftime, some of the pushing and shoving, the verbal altercations. And you have to be careful, especially for either side. Coleman got the hands up and around Almesh. But it was the nature of pinning him down and not releasing it that drew the ire of the rest of AV Alta. Both yellow cards in this match are Omaha's. Wutan lifts it, continues to carry. Wanted to lead the way for Cabral and ends up back to Smith. Tune into CBS Saturday, July 18th for a USL Championship Eastern Conference Showdown. The reigning champs, the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, go head-to-head to the reigning Players' Shield winner, Louisville City FC, in a must-watch match of the summer. Two elite clubs, one massive stage. Don't miss a minute of the action on CBS, July 18th at noon Eastern. One of the leaders in the clubhouse, not just this year, but across all of USL League One in Union Omaha. He led the way all season long before Charlotte was able to catch up earlier today. AV Alta 5 points back of first place after Charlotte took over. They were only 4 behind Omaha going into today, or Alta. But everything counts, especially if you're as hot as AV Alta have been. 10 unbeaten is in the sight line. But also keep in mind for AV Alta, they absolutely had a tailspin during their 9-game unbeaten run last year, where they only had 1 win in the final 16 matches after July 19th, which forced them out of the playoffs by a single point. Speaking of the Charlotte Independents, not only did they take the #1 seed from Union Omaha today, they took that final playoff spot from AV Alta last year. Wutan forces it, Seha clears. Unless something miraculous happens in the next 5 seconds, this is officially the longest goal drought in Union Omaha history. 347 minutes and counting. Where can Omaha find a spark? Or can they find any sort of inspiration? Crossed in, blocked out, just inside of the corner flag. For the 9th time in this match. It's been since the 75th minute against FC Naples on May 30th. Corners in, slapped out by Smith, covered by Caceres. Service again, header, back post just outside. The first save by Smith, and a good recycle by Omaha to get back to Cabral. Gomez had all the space, a nice flick, especially with not a lot of congestion in the box. It just didn't bounce as favorable as he would have preferred. And we mentioned it earlier. And as we mentioned earlier, for Union Omaha, could the potential addition of Marlon Vargas be a part of the solution, as maybe some of the confidence waned? Adam Almash leads the charge again. Cameron Lawrence is back. The first of a back-to-back regular season string at home. They do go to the road to Madison 10 days from now in the USL Cup. But in regular season play, they got to wait another 2.5 weeks before Westchester come here. In all fairness, AV Alta very stingy defensively. Top 4 in terms of the fewest goals allowed and also the most clean sheets if they hold on. Vincenzo Candela pulling off another pair of changes. It is Ryan Jiba in for Cameron Lawrence. And one of the newcomers to this roster, Alvin Gavilanes, came in midway through May, who will take the place of Sergio Ores Navarro, as all substitutions are from Broadmoor and Heartwood Preserve. 65th minute substitutions for Gavilanes. Ryan Chiba as well. Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL. From grassroots to the pros, Select is there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. Ryan Chiba, by the way, was the one to last score a goal. It was a bar-down banger from way outside of the box against FC Naples. Actually, the game-winning goal against FC Naples. And if you want to talk about teams who had a great start to the season and have since fallen off quite a bit, FC Naples also part of that mix. 4 consecutive losses if you include that loss to Omaha for Naples. With some of the runs that the teams under Omaha have been on, they want to avoid a similar fate. When Knoxville is immediately behind, they have wins in 3 of their last 4, points in their 4. AV Alta, if they hang on, they're looking for 10 unbeaten. Fort Madison have points in the last 4, as does Fort Wayne. They have the longest actively going unbeaten run of 10. Gavilanes driving the middle. Outside Botello Faz. Into the middle. Out it goes. Gavilanes settles it down. Cabral. Gavilanes from distance and a great save by Smith. Denzel Smith, he's been on a heater of his own. He's got a clean sheet in his last 2 starts, and he has been spectacular in this game. Forced to make another outstretched save. His 5th of the match, the corner from Modelo served in and over. And already we have the final change made by Vincenzo Candela. That's already all 5 subs burned off. Brett Coleman and his yellow card. Also forgot to mention, Lawrence and his yellow card go to the bench. Only 3 minutes after the Jiba and Gavilanes substitutions were made. It's Blake Malone, who comes in place of Brent Coleman. Returned to Union Omaha in 2024 after spending a pair of years in MLS Next Pro with Colorado Rapids too, did Malone. Didn't get his first playing action until the first week of May because of a foot injury that he sustained for large parts of last year and took a little while to get back in the rehabilitation process. But he's back in the fold again, coming off the bench for what is now his 8th game of the season. Served in, too high for Botello Faz. Ortiz will watch it out of play. Brian Claben has stood pat since halftime, where he brought in Godwin Antwi for Elias Almesh. It's the 3rd of a 3-game road trip for AV Alta, and they have handled their respective challenges very well. Started off what looked like it could have been a little rocky after losing Jabril Doumbia to a net drive from Greenville, forcing Smith into the fold. But a point and a clean sheet against Corpus Christi when they were on their 3-game winning heater. Maybe took some of the sail out of the Sharks' wings. Now where they stand, where 20 minutes away from potentially making this a 7-point road trip. Out of the 9 available. If the result holds, they tie one Knoxville at 27 points apiece, but keep in mind, Knoxville plays tomorrow on the ESPN2 match versus Boise, as we are in the final 20 minutes. 4 of the last 5 AV Alta goals have come at this point or later. Godwin Antwi. Des Dune. Retreats for Seha. At this point, Alta might be trying to frustrate via keep away. Instead, gives it away. Union Omaha coming into today, 9-5-1. Maybe Alta entering 6-2-6. 20 minutes to go in Omaha. Ryan Lee, entire ESPN Plus crew. Adam Almesh scored the opener, leaves it. Des Dune wanted the reverse of how the first goal happened, was Des Dune to Almesh, but Almesh couldn't locate Des Dune before the defender got in the way. Gavalanes. Back in the middle, Gomez. Wooton from distance, great save by Smith. Denzel Smith, that's 5 saves on the day. And they've all been exceptional, including the last 2, forcing the 4th quarter to Union Omaha in the half. 11 in this match. Again from Modelo. No Kempis Tequila, Gabriel Cabral to do the honors. Way back. And Owusu can't save it. Soccer season is here, and SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of the USL. Get all of your USL tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site. SeatGeek, your ticket to great seats. So 2 changes for Brian Clayman. Only the second set of this half in the 73rd, as all substitutions are brought to you by Broadmoor at Hartwood Preserve. It is Nick Relaford to replace Christian Ortiz in the back line. Relaford, the rookie from Cal State Fullerton, only 22 years of age for him. And Miguel Ibarra will take the place of the goal scorer, Adam Almesh. Elder statesman, 36 years old, over 100 matches of first division experience between Major League Soccer and Liga MX. Sends it across, in a battle, saved by Smith, off the line, and eventually it's in! Pato Botello falls! The drought's been broken! Their thirst has been quenched! And Omaha's tied this game! Sometimes the goals that get it done are the dirty ones and the greasy ones. What a chop by Pato Botello Foz to get this out of midair. Sticks the leg out, gets the ricochet between the legs of Smith. And that snaps the longest goal drought in Union Omaha history. It was a 75th minute goal, 360 total minutes, as that goal is brought to you by Hardat Sports Bar and Grill. And does that maybe unlock a little bit of Omaha's mojo for the remaining quarter hour of this match to recoup maybe a win and maybe get the train, what looked like completely off the rails, back on track? AV Alta were in complete control of that first half an hour, other than a couple spurts here or there. Maybe something's unlocked for Omaha. They continue to just knock at the door. They eventually bust in their 7th shot on target. Smith could only do so much by himself on 22 total attempts. Pato Batelofaz from Yunus Budadi. That's Batelofaz's first goal since June 6th, round 3, Prince Tires USL Cup against Fort Wayne. That 4-2 win, that was back here at Morrison. And Yunus Budadi, 2 assists on the season. First one since March. He's got to be feeling pretty good, especially as of late. The dual national of Morocco and Belgium saw his 2 respective sides win, and now gets the assist to get Omaha back in business. Jiba on the outside, through for Cabral, hesitates. Battles with Relaford, it's still in play. Bodies drop, no one's got it free. Ibarra tries to clear, second try, off the body to a corner for Omaha. Another Modelo corner, 5.5, 12 of the game. A dozen minutes left to go. Back post, slapped out by Smith, loose for Usu. Budadi back in, Jiba just misses. Budadi had his eyes on a second setup, but Jiba too far to the left. And this is a beautiful service as Jiba times the jump well to escape from Villalobos. Just couldn't put it within frame. This isn't something that hasn't happened to Omaha before. As that is a foul against Lawrence Wooton. And back-to-back with Malone as well. Omaha had 2 goals in a late game comeback against Naples the last time they were home. And this adds a very interesting and a very fun wrinkle to Brian Clavin's offense. Colin Anderson. Another substitution by Broadmoor at Hartwood Preserve. Change number 4 for AV Alta. His speed has absolutely demolished some defenses at times, including against Orange County. Foul against AV Alta. It's Osvaldo Ley, got the clip on Gavilanes. Budadi gets grappled by Desdoon. Free kick Omaha, yellow card to Desdoon. This game has been chippy. It has been physical, especially when you saw all the players, a little bit of the hand fighting going into the locker room. And it has absolutely bubbled over into the second half. Even with 10 minutes to go. That is the first yellow card against AV Alta, however. This allows Gavilanes and Caceres just outside of the area. The USL Championship vets Gavilanes and Caceres to take the free kick on the far end. Gavilanes to goal, back post, off the post, still loose, and it's in! Cabral, a comeback for Omaha, 2-1. Cabral's been the one to serve these in. Owusu hits the post, and Cabral gets the final touch. For Gabriel Cabral, his first goal in the regular season, his 10th in all competitions, and none more important. Not only do Omaha get off the schneid, they get ahead for the first time since their last goal in the end of May. They had to go through the longest goal drought in franchise history to have what is likely a comeback to put them back in business for the #1 overall seed, as all goals are brought to you by Herdat Sports Bar and Grill. After all this time of asking, what does Union Omaha have to do to get back and recoup the points that they lost with the chances they squandered early on? Now the question lies, what must Alta do to maybe be on the precipice of their history? Union Omaha look to extend their 18-game regular season home unbeaten run to 19 to get within 2 of 1 Knoxville. Alta, if they can find a way to tie this game or maybe even steal the full 3, a chance to write their names in the record books again with their longest unbeaten run in franchise history if they can get to double digits there. Gavalanis on the outside, he works on Ortiz into the area. A little bit of fighting dislodged from Lay. As it stands, Union Omaha are back in pole position. 2 points above Charlotte after Charlotte took over earlier this afternoon. The attempted give and go, interference on Jiba, the whistles against Alta. Telefaz falls for Wutan, return feed. They play catch. Alongside is Cabral. The secondary goal scorer, Gabriel Cabral. Cabral in the 81st, Batello Faz in the 74th after Adam Almesh, the former Union Omaha forward, started the scoring in the 31st. All alone, Yunus Budati. An assist in this game already as we're in the final 5 plus stoppage. For Union Omaha, they have a long layoff between regular season matches. 10 days from now in Madison for the USL Cup Round 4 to round out the group stage for them. Before they meet Westchester here 2.5 weeks from now. Godwin Antwi drives the middle, fans it outside. Ibarra and Alta. Final leg of a 3-game road trip. Hosting Charlotte on Sunday, outside, caught by Nuhu. Leading the way, Gavilanes takes on 2 defenders. Low driver, in front, they score! Gomez gets 3, a dozen minutes apart! And Omaha have regained control of this game, of this league. 3-1, back to number 1. What a feed for Gavilanes, and he's been marinating on the bench for an opportunity like this. Same with our own Gomez. The 2 substitutes working together right in front on an island was our own Gomez. His 51st goal across all professional levels, as he got the setup from Alan Gavilanes. Only his first regular season assist of the year, as all goals are presented by Herdat Sports Bar and Grill. Right after Gabriel Cabral scored his first goal since August, of 2025. It's our own Gomez who gets his second goal since suffering a season-ending leg injury a year ago in June. He made his return in May of this year. 2 goals in the book already, and pretty much seals the top seed for Union Omaha. And Brian Claiborne wants defensive help. He brings out Matthias William. Palavanov goes to the bench. All substitutions from Broadmoor and Hartwood Preserve. 89th minute substitution. Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access Tuesday nights. Plus hear live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more on Sirius XM FC 157 in the Sirius XM app. It was our own Gomez, although it hasn't been given yet. There should be an assist to Alan Gavilanes, as he just hit him on a dot. Now it's confirmed, Gavilanes to Gomez. And the chance have already come. 1, 2, 3, they want 4. 87 minutes. But maybe a chance for Alta, top of the area, clipped out of play. 3 extra minutes of stoppage here in Morrison. 3 goals, a dozen minutes apart. An onslaught for Omaha to reclaim not only the lead in this game, the lead in the League One table that was stripped of them earlier this afternoon from Charlotte Independence. And they'll have everything to play for on Sunday, Charlotte, when they go to the hangar in Lancaster to play this AV Alta side where they knew they had the game in their grasp. Omaha ball on the throw-in. It was bound to happen sooner or later for Union Omaha. 26 shot attempts, 9 were on frame, and there were games where they had a single shot on target last time out against AC Boise. And they had a combined 9 between the losses against Charlotte and Sarasota. 9 alone tonight, and eventually they broke down Denzel Smith 3 times, where they are in prime position for pole position. The USL Championship and League One are on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on CBS Sports Golazo and ESPN Plus. Go to USLChampionship.com or USLLeague1.com for the complete USL TV listings. In the final minute of 3, where it took 3 for Union Omaha, they not only reclaimed what seemed to have been lost in this game, but when it looked like the tailspin was inevitable for the Owls, they find a way to regain their wings and rise instead of sink. How does AV Alta respond? 2 very tough opponents in the horizon. Charlotte on Sunday back at home. Phoenix Rising, their final game in the USL Cup. And even have road games in Tennessee between the Red Wolves and One Knoxville. But it is Union Omaha's day. When it looked like all was lost, they reclaimed the game, reclaimed the lead on the USL League One table. Three goals, 13 minutes. Pato Batelafaz, Gabriel Cabral, and the finishing sweetener from Aaron Gomez. Our man of the match is brought to you by Platinum Chiropractic and Wellness. It is Gabriel Cabral. Not only did he get the game-winning goal, he was all over the field in this match. For Gabriel Cabral, he had one of the highest XG marks individually of everyone on Union Omaha today. As we wrap things up, our final brought to you by Blackstone. We close it out at Morrison Stadium on the other end. Yunus Budadi and Union Omaha secure a come-from-behind victory their second consecutive win via comeback, actually, as they maintain their unbeaten run at home. 19 straight with Omaha and AV Alta. As all our full-time highlights are brought to you by Family Fare, it was a tense one through and through with all the stakes available. Union Omaha to reclaim first, AV Alta to get a step closer, and Des Dune to the ex-Owl, Adam Almesh to lead off the scoring. And this is the beauty by Almesh, all things considered. Single swipe, going, kind of twisting right, but followed through to the left. And right after Union Omaha had their longest ever scoreless drought, they eventually broke through. Pato de Batelafa swatting it out of midair. The feed from Yunus Budadi to open the scoring in the 74th. 7 minutes after that, 81 minutes through, it was the set piece. Gavilanes, the back post to Jiba. Everyone thought it went in. You could see the crowd as it went off the post, but eventually cleanup crew Gabriel Cabral was there to get the final tap home to take the lead for the first time since the 75th minute mark against Naples on May 30th. And this is a nice line drive for Gavilanes. Not only did he serve up that set piece, gets it right down the middle. Our own Gomez on an island, no one near him. They're basically in Kansas at that point with the way that Gomez had all that space, and those were our full-time highlights. We go through the stats, and we had a hunch that this was going to be not only a matter of who was going to possess the ball more, but who was going to possess it more efficiently, who was going to do more with the ball. Union Omaha, they're a very volume-driven team, and they showed that again with 26 shots, 9 on target. And for Union Omaha, they get a long layoff before they go back to Pringstar's USL Cup play. For AV Alta, they got to wash it quickly before Charlotte come to reclaim number 1. Well, a double dose of soccer for you here in Omaha. Right after the USA and Bosnia went toe-to-toe in the round of 16, Union Omaha and AV Alta squared off here in Morrison. 3-1 the final. Union Omaha are back on top of the table. For our entire USL League One crew, I'm Ryan Lee. Have a great rest of your night.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.